work with that you have a great relationship with? And how many can you think of that you have one person in your working environment right now that you don't have a great relationship with? We're all there. So I've been in a lot of management roles, and just a little backstory to get this all started. So I moved back to Wisconsin and joined the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society here as a transfer from Cleveland. And I took on a group of 5 direct reports from 2 different markets with LLS. And let me tell you, it was hard with this group. This is probably the biggest transition that I've had with this team. And the 4 things that I'm going to talk to you about is really what I did and still do on a regular basis to really work through building those professional relationships, not only with my direct reports, but also with colleagues that I work with in this office. So without further ado, the first one is, these are pretty simple concepts, but I'm hoping you'll walk away with some things to start interplaying with your teams or with your colleagues at work too. So showing up and follow through. So what I mean by that is, one of the things that we do in the onboarding process is really spend a lot of time with our teams and going out and kind of showing them how you do it, having them do it with you, and then maybe you guys do it together. And what I would recommend is that if you're not out with your teams in the field or with your colleagues, that's a great opportunity to not only show credibility for what you have to bring to the table, but also it's an opportunity to start talking and building that relationship back and forth with that individual. So what I recommend is be out with your people as much as possible, not just in the onboarding process and not just in the initial relationship building piece, and follow through. So one of the things that I did really early on, and I do this on a regular basis as a follow-up, is really set mutual expectations with my team. So talk to them up front, ask them what they expect from me, I shared what I expect from them, and we address it on a regular basis. So if you're not doing those things, make sure that you're having those ongoing conversations with not only, and this is not just for direct reports, this is for colleagues too, or even your boss. And the follow through is so important. So if you have a meeting that you have scheduled on a regular basis, make sure you're prepared and limit distractions with those meetings. So bring an agenda, ask them to bring agenda items, talk to them about what you have to say, and really be consistent with that time frame, because that's the follow-through piece. And again, that's gonna build not only mutual respect, but just the relationship building that happens in those conversations. The next one, wrong button. Ask questions. So what I mean by that is open-ended questions. The reason we ask questions and open-ended questions is really about letting that other person know that you're engaged in the conversation, that you're interested in what they have to say, but also that you're giving them permission to speak. And so I have a few questions that I always use in my one-on-one meetings, and I'll share them with you. So some of them I ask is, what are you excited about? And what are you struggling with? But one that I ask frequently is, where can I help you? And you'd be amazed at those open-ended questions, and asking that on a regular basis really opens that door for ongoing feedback. That's so important. If you're not used to open-ended questions, or you haven't been incorporating that in your meetings with individuals, write them down and start playing them into your conversation. You're gonna get more comfortable doing it, and you're already gonna have them in place, so you know that you're gonna be using them when you're having those meetings. This is a big one. So remember I told you that I walked into a team that I adopted. I was the newbie, even though I transferred, so I was familiar with the organization, and my role was a lateral move. This was tough. Authenticity is so important, and I was hungry I'm always hungry for leadership development. I go to a lot of professional stuff. I listen to podcasts, all those things. And I was finding myself just trying to constantly prove to my team and to my colleagues that I was supposed to be in this role. And it dawned on me one day that I just was like, stop it. I know what I'm good at. I know where my talents lie. And I started being me again. And that's where the magic happened. So if you're in a new management role, or you just got a promotion, or you just got some direct reports, remember why you were put in that role, and keep that self-talk going, because that matters. And your team will see right through you if you are not authentic and genuine about who you are. Be hungry for all that stuff, but this was the piece that was a game changer for me. And the last one is vulnerability. I love me some Brene Brown. Who loves Brene Brown? Yeah, right? So I watched her Netflix special and I cried, because she just speaks to me. Being willing to ask for feedback and taking that into consideration also was a game changer for me. And as soon as I allowed myself to let go and offer that opportunity with my team, magic has happened. And I promise you that if you allow these concepts into your world on a regular basis, you are going to make a difference with your team and with how you come to work every day. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.